Hi, this is Justin Kantor. Following are excerpts from my recent interview with Ruby Turner. Ruby scored massive success in the late 80s and early 90s with classics such as If You're Ready, Come Go With Me, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours, It's Gonna Be Alright, The Other Side, and many more. I conducted this interview as the foundation for my historical essay in the accompanying booklet to SoulMusic Records' new two-CD anthology, Living a Life of Love, The Jive Anthology, 1986 to 1991. This well-rounded set I also had the honor of producing and putting together. It includes 32 tracks total, including the aforementioned hits, as well as some rare mixes and B-sides. I hope you enjoy the interview excerpts, and please do purchase a copy of the anthology to hear it in full, as well as to read the essay with all of Ruby's insights, as well as additional insights from producers Loris Holland and Monty Moyer. How would you describe your early childhood there?
Well, I left there when I was age 9. I'm now 110, so I can I can only be described as it's paradise. That's what Jamaica to me was as
Okay.
a child, just paradise. There was enough there for any person who's young and free,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a child, everything you want as a child, it was just perfect, really. Looking back, and when I do visit Jamaica every so now and then, it's just beautiful. Yeah.
Was music a big part of things for you at that point in your life and when you were living
Well,
in
not
Jamaica?
really, because I was a child, and I mean, there's music. There was always music around, because
Yeah.
Jamaica is just a land of sea, sand, and music, and just beauty. Really, it's paradise, like I said.
Yeah.
You drive across the island, and it's parts of it. As I got older and visited again, and
Mm.
was able to see other parts of the island, you just can't believe. And you
Mm-hmm.
can only but imagine when they did Pirates of the Caribbean
Uh,
and the old stories that we read as kids, the Robinson Crusoe stories, how
uh,
these islands really, and even the James Bond movies. You can
uh,
see why it inspired so many writers. And back in the day, the Americans used to holiday in Jamaica, and you
mm-hmm.
could see why. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
that kind of gives you a sense of pride and just, yeah. I mean, she's going through her hardships too, because
Mm-hmm.
she's still a third world country. But
Mm.
yeah, I got to big her up because it's Jamaica, man.
And were those theater groups that you did, were those part of school or were those like a professional thing that you
No, it
came
was no,
to?
the theater. It started in school in a way because my head teacher,
Uh-huh.
sort of, sometimes they recognize your talent, so they say, if you can call it that. They
Mm-hmm.
thought, oh, this child might be really good to do this, and this child might be good to do that. And I was one of those child she thought I should go and look at theater because I was showing signs
Mm.
of the creative theatricals, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so my head teacher sent me to a theater to go and see a production.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to this theater and joined that very same night, joined this little theater called the Crescent Theater in Birmingham.
Okay.
And yeah, and they were putting on, the play they were putting on that night when I joined, and I got a role in that little piece, was
Mm-hmm.
A Streetcar Named Desire.
Ah, okay.
So I got a walk-on part in A Streetcar Named Desire, and that was the start, for me, yeah.
Now, when you were doing those kinds of theater groups, was there vocal training, or did you just develop your
No,
style
no,
through
not
the?
at all. No, not at
No,
all. In
no.
theater, it's everything. But
Hmm.
I was still 16.
Yeah.
So I was just having the best time ever. I was still in school. I was still, still in school and being involved in theater, just, being in the chorus line or whatever it was, the
Hmm.
streetcar named Design, and was putting on the Ritz,
Oh,
those
yeah.
those gaslights and garters, and
Oh,
just little
okay.
things, little productions like that. But like I say, I was doing those things, and then making friends in the theater fraternity, the
Yeah.
group, the people,
Hmm.
and basically because I was young, they took me under their wings, and they heard me singing in theater, and my friend Gareth thought, wow, she should sing for her supper. This girl's, interesting. So he basically, yeah, he took charge, and he wrote a piece, a drama piece, and we went and performed it at a place called the Edinburgh Festival.
Okay.
Have you heard of
Yes,
the
I
Edinburgh
have heard. I
Festival?
have heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. In '77, we went to the Edinburgh Festival with a production that he wrote, and we came back, and by the time I was about 18, came back, and that was it.
Wow.
They said, we think you should pursue a musical career.
What kind of jobs were you? You said you had a 9 to 5. What kind of 9 to 5
Yeah,
job did you do?
I worked in an office. I was a customer's liaison officer.
Oh, wait, a customer liaison.
Customer liaison.
Oh, okay.
So basically, there were complaints department that I would be
Oh,
managing.
yeah.
I'll be dealing with all the hassles.
So, now was because you mentioned Every Soul, and I know because it's funny when I listened to that, I heard Jackie's voice kind of doing the ad lib in the chorus, and I noticed that that was the I know it was before Jive Records came in, but it had been released in France on that Romantic Records label, which I had been familiar with a few other artists, like I think Ochi Brown at that time, and I didn't know, was that something where that song picked up some recognition for you in certain territories that kind of
But
got
I don't know what happened with that, to be honest with you,
okay.
because because I think you do stuff, and sometimes it's far reaching, or it don't reach
Okay.
anywhere. In
Okay.
this case, now you're telling me where it went. I didn't realize that it got
Well,
as far as France. How excellent is that?
I know, yeah. Well, now when did because I know you and Jackie, I think together were singing with UB40 as well, right?
That's right.
So how did that come in? Because that was kind of in the middle of when you were working up to your own deal, right? How did you kind of connect with UB40 and you know?
Well, once again, we're all Midlanders. We all live in the same city.
Okay.
So, and the UB40 thing came about because Bob Lamb, who was
Mm,
their producer,
yeah.
was my drummer as well.
Right.
So, and Jackie, like I say, Jackie sang with me.
Mm,
So, when they wanted backing vocals or whatever, me and Jackie went in and did that,
okay.
So we were all sort of kind of family, the sort of the Birmingham fraternity, really.
Yeah.
And we sort of were just helping each other out, and I got involved, and they were just great. It was just good times. Bob was their producer. He was my drummer, and that's basically how it all came about, really.
I know you had said at some point, I think, that when it came time to do the Motown songbook, that you were a little bit hesitant about whether or not you wanted to actually do this whole album of Motown covers. So I was just curious because it obviously ended up being very successful for you. What ultimately gave you the confidence to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this, or what kind of took place that made you say this is a good idea to do this?
Well, I tell you, it's really strange because after the first album, bit by bit, our confidence grows.
Mm.
And after the first album, which did fairly well and, get a bit more established as a solo artist, as a serious artist now, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Not just being known as a backing singer or whatever, so many people looking at you as a solo act that's having, making inroads, making a noise, making,
Right.
standing alone now. And
Yeah.
then when it came to the second album, when they had this concept, because this whole world is, at the time after the first album, people started to making concept albums.
Mm.
Concept. Well, what's that?
Yeah.
Concept albums. I mean, it just what surprises me so much, in this world is just. I mean, I haven't been signed to a big label for the longest time, so I'm not under their. I'm not under their sort of. How can I best put it? Their influence as such.
Right.
But here I was in a label, and any ideas? It was like ideas that were floating about, and the concept album was floating about. So they went, "Oh, get ready to make a concept album." I went, "Well, what's one of those then?" And
Yeah.
then the label had the idea of doing a Motown songbook. And I said, "Well, that's great, but I won't touch any Motown song
Ah.
without." And now talking about confidence,
Yeah.
somewhere along the line, I found that confidence to go, all very well and good if you can get hold of some of those originals because
Ah.
they're still out there playing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sing one of their songs
Yeah.
knowing that these guys are still touring.
I see.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. What am I doing that for?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
so they went, and next thing I know, they managed to pull it off.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
they got the Four Tops and the Temptations and Junior Walker and, Yeah, and Jimmy Ruffin, yeah, managed to pull. They managed to get a few in, which is great. Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder, I wanted to do something with Stevie. They
Oh,
never
yeah.
were able to pull that off. But yeah, they
You
managed to
did
pull a
well,
few in,
yeah.
and that made it work. I said, okay, I can cope now. I can sing them now.
Was it?
But
Do
yeah,
you?
that was the first time. But I knew for a fact I wasn't going to just go sing a Motown songbook album, knowing full well that Levi Stubbs and the group were all still out there, coming flying in and out to the UK singing these songs. No,
Mm.
yeah, but
Did you?
it worked out great.